What is up, everyone? Welcome back to the channel. Here we are, we're back in the garage, but there's still no C8. And I'm here to tell you why. So everyone, here we are, we're back in the garage, and the C8 is still at Klick Lewis. They're still trying to find out some parts, they're still doing some further evaluation, but as of today, the C8 is still there. So what they found when they pulled the car in, they found 5 codes. The interesting part was these codes were all in the history, which means they're not active codes. And that means if I would have taken the car there for, say, a standard oil change, there'd be no reason to check them. They show no issue with the car. So in reality, the car is good to go. With that being said, they reached out to GM Tech and they said, here are the 5 codes. So 2 of them were with the ECM. Really not that big of a deal. They basically have a P700 and a P1789. One does involve the parking sensor, which they said sometimes will get debris on it, and they need to clear that off by flushing the trans. The other 3 were with the TCM unit. So back in November of 2021, GM finally said, hey, we have an issue with TCMs. They put it out for all 2020s and all 2021 Corvettes. This is officially the first 2022 Corvette to exhibit this issue. They actually changed the pan on the transmission from the original 2020 design to the 2021 in hopes of kind of helping with some of that fluid distribution inside of the transmission housing. So as of today, this is the first Tremec TR9080 built in 2022 that has this problem. So that's why they're trying to really figure out what happened to it. Regarding the noise, this noise, they have not even addressed that yet as far as GM Tech, because per protocol, they are not allowed to just go off a video that some consumer sends into them and says, hey, here's a video of my car. I really can't blame them, but it's a little frustrating right now because they're chasing codes that technically aren't even an issue. So at this point, they're trying to track down the TCM issue. What I found out about the TCM is you can buy one on eBay, but dealerships are hoarding them because of what happened on the 2020 and 2021 models. So they reached out to a Mid-Atlantic group, no resolution. So here it is a couple of days later, and they're still trying to track down a TCM for my car. So I was like, you know, it's getting to be beautiful out. It's really nice here in Pennsylvania. Give me the car back. I mean, at this point, you're telling me it's, you know, all warranty stuff. There's really no issue with the car. In reality, if I wouldn't have even brought the car in and wouldn't have recorded that sound, none of this would be going on. And they said, well, you know, we really can't do that. I'm like, why? And they said, well, Jake, it voids the warranty. So in reality, my car has to sit there. Really, it has no signs of issues with it. I'm not allowed to drive it. They can drive it. But in reality, if I take it out and something happens to it, it voids all the warranty because of GM has now started this investigation into the TCM unit, which they can't even get their hands on. So at this point, the car is literally stuck in GM jail at the dealership. They don't know what to do with it, and they're just waiting for parts to come in. So as I was talking to the guys, and they have been really helpful. Todd is the service manager up there. He's a great guy. And also Nick is their vet tech. And I'm still bothering my good friend Mike, the salesman, which I'm sure as all you technicians and mechanics know that probably every time you see a salesman walk back into the service area, you're just like, great. Now what are we gonna do? So thank you, Mike, for reaching out to those guys. I feel sorry for making you go in there a lot. But my next question was about the DCT filter. So that grinding noise, as we all know, sounds pretty horrific. The question is, what's going on with that DCT filter? You know, can we pull the filter out, check it out, and see what's going on? And they said, yeah, Jake, we can do that. In fact, your first service includes that. I was like, well, yeah, but that's my first service. Like, this is GM's issue. I kind of want that covered. They said, that doesn't work that way. So at this point, I think I'm probably just going to have to offer up and basically pay to have my own transmission filter figured out because GM doesn't want to cover it, and there's no code for the transmission filter, even though they want to replace the TCM, which basically operates all the valve banks inside of the Tremec. So that's a little bit of a, not real happy about that, but if that's what it takes, I'd rather know what's going on and pull the filter out. With that being said, if you read anything about the DCT and that's what's going on with this TCM filter, what they tell you is that when that filter is pulled out, and that first service that's technically free to all C8 owners now, is that filter is supposed to be carefully removed. No fluid is to be lost. It gets put in a plastic bag. They record your mileage, they record your VIN, and they record the work order that it went against. And they take that and they actually send it back to the warranty guys for investigation. So it's obviously GM knows there's something amiss with the transmission and they know something's wrong with it. The question is, why wouldn't you guys want to pull mine out and check it out, and send it back to warranty? But so at this point, I'm probably gonna end up having the team do that. It'll be at my cost, but I'd rather know what's going on, at least be safe about it. Because again, the noise you heard was not normal, is not okay, and it needs to be evaluated sooner than later. I do understand why why they don't want to dump the transmission fluid out right away. If you guys don't know much about the transmission fluid, it's $27 a quart, and if you add the 2 quarts for race prep, you're at about 14 quarts. You're at 13.62 quarts, which literally is about $380 in just pure fluid that you're dumping out of the car, and then the filters are about like $100 some odd as well. So if you just exclude all the labor to do that, that whole transmission thing, it's a pretty penny to do that. So I understand why there's some apprehension just to dump the fluid out. I'm just trying to do my due diligence and see what's going on with the car. So at this point, Klick Lewis is still being super helpful. They're being super patient. The car is being kept inside. They're trying their hardest to track down a TCM for me. They're going to put one in and hopefully we'll get the car back on the road and start driving again. But that's it for today. Let me know what you all think. What would you want to do? Would you want the car back? Would you be okay with taking the car and saying, you know what, something happens, it's on my dime? I mean, where would you guys stand with all this? So, and if you are a dealership in the network, please, I am begging you, please, 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 send a TCM housing over module to Klick Lewis for me. I will pay you. I would just want to get my car back. It's starting to get nice here in Pennsylvania, and I have some really, really exciting things coming up for the car. Really a really cool collaboration with some local shops and also with Justin from Horsepower Obsessed. So the C8's getting a lot of cool stuff done to it, but I just need it back in my possession so we can get these things rolling. So please help me out so I can help you guys out. Let me know what you think. Reach out to me with any questions, comments, and thanks for watching. See you, everyone.